Welcome to another episode of Savage Cash. Here with me, Suppoman, your superhero cryptocurrency expert. In today's video, I am going to be showing you exactly how to spot cryptocurrencies on the rise. Now, the reason why I'm doing a video on this is because in my Suppoman Masterminds group, or even in a lot of the cryptocurrency groups and communities that you may be, a part of, you'll hear a lot of, this went up. How did we not hear about that? Or, oh, wow, look at this. This has gone up like 120%. How did we not hear about this? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you a way in which you can identify coins that are currently on the rise and where you can actually make some short-term gains. Now, this is more for the trader rather than the investor. In a lot of my videos, I tend to basically give advice and tips for the long-term investor. What are the cryptocurrencies, the ICOs out there that will enable you to make incredible gains in the long term? What are the visions that solve many pains out there and will, be cryptocurrencies worth a lot of money in the future? That is what a lot of my cryptocurrency videos and podcasts have been about recently, but today I'm going to bring it back to trading. And trading on a day-to-day basis and what you can do to spot if a cryptocurrency is worth investing in and basically make use of the stop loss tutorial I went through yesterday, where when you've got a rising coin, how can you put a stop loss in so that you mitigate the risk and you just benefit from the profit? Okay, so before I go on to that, I did want to touch on what is happening right now. Right now, Bitcoin is at an all-time high value. It's at its highest ever value. And in fact, it went above $4,600 in literally the last hour. Insane. The market cap is now 75 billion, where, literally a few months ago it was about 20 billion. So it's just ridiculous how much this has grown. This is really, really becoming huge. Now, whilst we see Bitcoin really surging, there is one cryptocurrency that has not had a good day. NEO. NEO has not had a good day today. Why? Because there's an ICO coming up called Red Pulse, which I've spoken to you about, and it's basically, basically getting information and research on the Chinese markets. It's basically a Chinese cryptocurrency. But what happened today? What happened today is that Red Pulse actually sent out tweets, and basically what it says is, due to stricter ICO regulations, we've had to make the difficult decision to disallow Chinese citizens from participating in our ICO. So basically, the ICO, which enables you to use NEO, which is a China-based cryptocurrency, it's the Chinese Ethereum. The Chinese citizens that are going to benefit from the research conducted by Red Pulse, it's basically an ICO which impacts upon the Chinese people, and the Chinese citizens can't even get behind their own cryptocurrency to buy a Chinese-based cryptocurrency ICO. Now, is that not ridiculous? And what it caused as a result is for the price to plummet of NEO. Now, it's not necessarily plummeted as badly as I thought it would, but it could still go down. So essentially, it was around about the just under $40 where it's been sitting for a while. So on Sunday it was at $40, and then it's just kind of stayed about $38, and then boom, went right down to $31. So NEO is experiencing a pretty bad day. So long-term investors, this is where your muscle and your metal is tested. Okay, so when I've been going on about long-term cryptocurrency investing, you are going to get tested. Okay, there's going to be some times where your hands are going to be tested. Are they weak? Are they strong? Can you keep hold of your cryptocurrency? A good long-term cryptocurrency that's only going to go much higher. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's $34 is not even a drop of where it's going to be. I mean, I've already, predicted where this is going to go. I already see this going into the 3 figures in the not too distant future, and in the 4 figures, certainly in the future. So I see this going places, okay? But I am an experienced cryptocurrency investor. I have gone through a lot of pain, a lot of frustration, seeing prices tumble on cryptocurrencies that I'm invested in for the long haul. Okay, so this is where you build up that resilience. This is where you build up that, where you get desensitized, I suppose, to setbacks like this. Now, this has gone up slightly, so, it hasn't dropped. And, with this, what's happening with Red Pulse, there's always the VPN option, okay? But what I'm going to say to you is that this is highlighting something even bigger happening to cryptocurrency, okay? We've already had, the US clamping down on tax evaders. We've already got the US stopping people, US investors getting involved with certain ICOs. We've now got, the Chinese also regulating, cryptocurrency and preventing people from being able to take part in their own ICO, for goodness sake. So this is becoming a big problem, okay? And the whole point of decentralization and Bitcoin, which has been very disruptive to banks, very disruptive to governments and to the controls and to the powers that be, what we need now is something that is going to make these cryptocurrencies thrive and let people have control again. Because essentially, it's the governments that are in control of your money. No matter where you are, the governments are in control of your money. And they can raise the prices of things that you buy on a day-to-day basis and lower the value of what you hold. Meaning that it's going to become harder and more expensive. Things are going to become more expensive to afford. And it's going to leave people in financial difficulty. Okay, so the situation is only getting worse. So there needs to be some form of network, some form of system that enables people to have control again. So people are able to have control more of their money now with Bitcoin and with digital currency. But we need a big kind of umbrella system that enables people to have control, full stop. But I'm going to come on to that more in a future video. Okay, but for today, look at Bitcoin. Look at the price of Bitcoin. It's just unbelievable. This is a testimony to the health of cryptocurrency right now. So let's go back to what I was originally going to be speaking with you about. Okay, so today I want to be speaking with you about how do you spot these cryptocurrencies? How do you spot a short-term trade? How do you spot that? So actually, one of the best tools that you've got is actually on CoinMarketCap itself. Okay, now I'm not sure if you're actually aware of this, but if you go to trending, you've got this tab where you can choose gainers and losers. Okay, and you are able to sort through this list 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days. Okay, so you can essentially see who are the biggest gainers and who are the biggest losers, who are the ones that are losing value. Okay, so you've got these biggest gainers here. You're probably thinking, okay, Suppoman, is that the end of lesson? No, it's not the end of lesson. Because although you've got the biggest gainers, what you want to be identifying cryptocurrencies that have a lot of volume being traded. Okay, and the more money being pumped into a coin gives you an indication of where that coin is going. Okay, and it gives you an indication of there being something in the air saying this coin is being heavily invested in or being heavily funded because of a reason. Okay, so it enables you to look into it, enables you to reverse engineer the process, I suppose. You've seen that there's a gain happening. Now you can reverse engineer it and look back. Why is it gaining? What has come out about that particular coin? What can you look at to reference the rise? Okay, so like I said, you could do 24 hours, what's been doing well since this time yesterday, or you could do 1 hour and see what is really getting pumped right now. Okay, so you can have a look. Now, as I said, volume over the last 24 hours is key because you can see the level of investment going into it. Okay, because some, where you've got, limited supply, smaller investments make it go right up. So you really want something that's got quite a lot of investment behind it, quite a lot of volume of trades. Okay, so what are the ones with a lot of volume? So we've got Storage coin that's going right up. Now, lots of people have been hyping about Storage in the cryptocurrency communities. Ubiq, another one people have been hyping on about in the cryptocurrencies communities. Neo's going up in the last hour because it went right down to 30. Again, this is something that you can reverse engineer. So I've just given you the information, but if you didn't have that information, you could look what's happening regards to NEO. Go on the NEO Reddit page, have a look and see what the market news is. Or you can go on Google, you can go on all kinds of places to find out what the latest news is. Which is why I recommend that if you're not already, that you get involved with some communities. You know, join these cryptocurrency communities. Now, although you may think I sound biased, I think that the best community to get involved in is my mastermind group. Okay, so essentially, if you join one of these two courses, both mine, both the top rated courses on Udemy on cryptocurrency, both the best sellers, if you join one of these at $10, the links are in the description. If you join one of these at $10 instead of $195, you get free access to the cryptocurrency mastermind group, and you also get some learning in there for free. So you're almost earning while you're learning. Okay, so it gives you that extra benefit. But essentially speaking, my mastermind group is so on top of what is happening right now in cryptocurrency. You know, when I went on to post what happened with Red Pulse, somebody had already done that. In fact, 2 people had already done that. So it's a really good, so these communities, if it's a high quality community, are a really good pulse on the market. What is happening with these coins? And with that, you can use that information to essentially justify some of these gains and be able to justify why you should invest in it. 131 million has been reinvested back into NEO. Okay, so there's a lot of volume, a hell of a lot of volume, which gives you an indication that, you know, this is being pumped right now. It's already gone from $34 to nearly $36 in literally the course of whilst I've been speaking to you. So it just goes to show this is a really good way of spotting those growing cryptocurrencies that you can get in and make a quick trade on. Okay, Monaco, for obvious reasons, 77 million. Okay, so here we have a pulse on what's happening. Here we have a snapshot of what is growing right now and what has been growing in the last hour. The percentage growth in the last hour, so that you can jump on it. Now, what you need to do is you need to be very careful. This isn't where it ends, okay? So let me just take an example, okay? So UBIC. Let's take an example, UBIC, right? So what we do is we go down to the markets and we have a look and see where is the price really reflected here. So 252 Bittrex, okay? So Cryptopia is 276 and it's wavering on others. It's 150 on Cryptopia if you're basically trading Doge, but there's no volume happening there. So 252 Bittrex. So what you want to do is you want to go to something like Coinigy and you want to type in, so UBQ, Bittrex, trading in Bitcoin. And then what you want to do is you want to basically analyze where the cryptocurrency is using some of the techniques where you can spot that a cryptocurrency is the right point to enter into a trade at. Now, if you go to this course here, the Cryptocurrency Investment Course 2017, you will find out what is the optimal trade entry. What is the best point to enter into a trade? Okay, when a coin is at a certain value, what is the best point? And you learn a lot of other things. Okay, so going back to here, what we will do is we'll do a Fibonacci retracement. So if we go down to the third box down, which is this pitchfork, and click the arrow so it gives a drop down, what we want is Fibonacci retracement, okay? So we want to see how much the market has claimed back of the coin and where the current value sits within the claim back, the retracement, okay? So what we want to do is we want to measure the lowest point to the highest point, okay, which is right here. And what we want to do, basically, when a cryptocurrency surges in value, typically what happens is the market reclaims back 60% from the peak. Okay, the 60% line is right here. So what we want now is we want a rectangle to basically pinpoint that 60% line. All right, so 60% line was here. So what has happened is that this cryptocurrency is currently at 40% retracement of its latest rise. Okay, so it's not in the optimal area, which is 60. However, as you can see here, there's a lot of room for it to grow. Okay, so, you know, we're not seeing a cryptocurrency at an all-time high. We're not seeing something where you don't know where the peak is. Okay, you don't know if it's reached its peak or not. But what you can see here is the potential for it to go much higher based on where it has been in the not too distant past. Okay, so it gives you a good indication of, is now the right time? Now for UBIC, it's not an ideal trade entry. So if I just look at the long position, the long position is how much risk is there in making the trade? Okay, so we will plot the reward and risk boxes at the highest value and at the lowest value. Okay, now what it says here is if you were to make the trade in the 60% point, you would be on a risk reward ratio of 2 to 1. So for every $2 that you'd make, you'd lose $1. Okay, so you've got a $2 reward, $1 risk. Okay, so basically what that means is that it's relatively low risk compared to the reward. Now, if the reward was much lower, then you'd have to think about the trade. So if we just move this up and put this right down, what you'll see is a 0.7 risk reward ratio. So what that's saying is that you will make 0.7 of a dollar in reward for every $2.3 that you lose. Okay, so if we're looking at kind of $3 as what this ratio measures, 2 to 1 would mean that you make $2 for every $1 you lose. And here, the 0.7 would represent 0.7 gain for every $2.3 that you'd lose. So basically, it's not really a good entry point. So if we have a look now, you can see that the price is currently dropping. So where you really want to be entering is around about this point. But what you want to do is you want to go back to CoinMarketCap and you want to look for another coin which looks more suitable. Okay, so we've got another one here. We've got Linda. Okay, so if we just go and have a look at Linda on here. So Linda, let's have a look and see where the best market to obtain Linda would be. So it's 0.00037. So Cryptopia is looking like the best price. Okay, so we'll look at Cryptopia. There we are. And then we choose Linda. Right, okay, so let's have a look. So here we are. Look, right now it's going up. Okay, so let's just zoom in a little bit on this. Let's look at the week view. All right, so at the moment, what you can see, let's just use a trend line here. Well, at the moment, what you can see is there's quite a nice trend line going here for Linda. Okay, so this gives you an indication of the fact that Linda is just showing signs of going up and up and up. And you can see that right here. It's still going up. Okay, so for a trend, you need 3 points of contact. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and then you've got 4 points of contact, nearly 5, to basically justify this trajectory right here. Okay, so this is looking like a good coin to invest in right now. Okay, maybe earlier would have been better, but what you could be left in is tomorrow you could be in the position where it's gone right up and it went completely under your nose. You didn't see it happening. Okay, let's just apply the Fibonacci retracement again. Okay, so if we got the Fibonacci retracement from the lowest point to the highest point, we'll see where this fits in with the 60%. Okay, so it's literally just gone above it, okay? But it's not too far above it. It's at about 50%. So this is looking like a good coin to trade right now. A good coin to put some money in and put a stop loss in so that if it goes a bit higher and then it goes a bit lower, it kicks your stop loss and then you exit the trade and lost no money. Really, if you set a stop loss at a point where you're actually making enough money to compensate for the transaction fee, that's a good point to exit the trade. So you've got something there to stop you from losing if all of a sudden this tanks. Because something that I will say is what normally comes up on the biggest gainers are what comes up on the biggest losers the next day. So you've got to be quick and you've got to be making sure that you are looking at the cryptocurrency all the time. So that is something that's frustrating about day trading. You've got to make sure you've got the time for it. If you've got a family life, if you do work, it may not be so easy to do day trading, especially if you haven't got a computer where you can just simply hop on and sell it if you have to because it's made a profit. All right, so that is how to play the game. Okay, this is how you do it. All right, so this is how to spot a cryptocurrency that's currently surging. This is how to do a little bit of technical analysis to basically quality check the information that's being given to you. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to check for volume. You then got to reverse engineer it and have a look and see what is causing the volume. Then you go on to doing chart analysis and seeing if it's the best point to be entering the trade. Is it quite a long way away from its latest peak? And if it is, if it's at that 60% optimal entry zone, that's absolutely perfect place to get in. But what you can also do is you can put a trend line to just see what the trajectory is looking at. What is the information showing you? Is it going up, and is it going up in a pattern? And that's what the trend is showing you. So it's a really good time to get in with this particular cryptocurrency. Cylinder coin is looking pretty good today. But this is how, on a day-to-day basis, you can spot what are the cryptocurrencies that you can make a decent profit with. Okay, now I'm not talking about 10 times gain or 20 times gain. That could happen. But what we're looking at is we are looking at what the pros do. Okay, they get 5 to 10% in every trade, and then they leave the trade, and then they do it next time, and they do it next time, and they just keep accumulating money. Okay, they're not losing vast amounts. They are putting their stop losses in to stop themselves from losing these vast amounts. So really what they're doing is they're profiting. So that's what you want to be doing. You want to be basically going through this process to make sure you profit from every trade and make just the short-term trades every day. You can just hop on and you can do this. And this is what the pros do. I'm connected with a lot of pros. This is what they do. This is how they do it. And I'm bringing this information to you. So if you want to learn more about cryptocurrency trading and the best way to trade and also the best way to invest, you can invest in the Cryptocurrency Investment Course 2017. This is all you need to be able to trade and invest with cryptocurrency. And of course, I keep this up to date as more information and new information comes to light. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of Savage Cash, and I will see you in the next one.